To the viewers and subscribers, I am Audrey, and welcome to my channel, The Backstory, where you will find out exactly what happened before each Sunday school lesson. The Sunday school lesson for October 16th, 2022 is entitled Obedience on the Day of Atonement. The lesson text is Leviticus chapter 16, verses 11 through 19. Please take a minute now to like, comment, and subscribe. The agenda is as follows. I will share the backstory, read the lesson text, and offer a brief lesson summary. Let's begin. The backstory begins with Leviticus chapter 16. The Lord spoke to Moses after the death of the two sons of Aaron, who died when they approached the Lord. According to Leviticus chapter 10, verses 1 through 2, Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, took their censers, put fire in them, and added incense. And they offered unauthorized fire before the Lord, contrary to his command. So fire came out from the presence of the Lord and consumed them, and they died before the Lord. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell your brother Aaron that he is not to come whenever he chooses into the most holy place behind the curtain in front of the atonement cover on the ark, or else he will die. For I will appear in the cloud over the atonement cover." Aaron and the most holy place, Leviticus chapter 16, verses 3 through 5. This is how Aaron is to enter the most holy place. He must bring a young bull for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering. He is to put on the sacred linen tunic with linen undergarments next to his body. He is to tie the linen sash around him and put on the linen turban. These are sacred garments, so he must bathe himself with water before he puts them on. From the Israelite community, he is to take 2 male goats for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering. Aaron and the most holy place, Leviticus chapter 16, verses 6 through 10. Aaron is to offer the bull for his own sin offering to make atonement for himself and his household. Then he is to take the 2 goats and present them before the Lord at the entrance to the tent of meeting. He is to cast lots for the 2 goats, one lot for the Lord and the other for the scapegoat. Aaron shall bring the goat whose lot falls to the Lord and sacrifice it for a sin offering. But the goat chosen by Lot as the scapegoat shall be presented alive before the Lord to be used for making atonement by sending it into the wilderness as a scapegoat. On the right, notice an illustration of the tabernacle in the wilderness. Obedience on the Day of Atonement. Leviticus chapter 16, verses 11 through 19. Time 1445 BC. Place Mount Sinai. Golden text. He shall make an atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgressions in all their sins. Leviticus chapter 16, verse 16. Verse 11. And Aaron shall bring the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and shall make an atonement for himself and for his house, and shall kill the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself. Verse 12. And he shall take a censer full of burning coals of fire from off the altar before the Lord, and his hands full of sweet incense beaten small, and bring it within the veil. Verse 13. And he shall put the incense upon the fire before the Lord, that the cloud of the incense may cover the mercy seat that is upon the testimony, that he died not. Verse 14. And he shall take of the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it with his finger upon the mercy seat eastward. And before the mercy seat shall he sprinkle of the blood with his finger 7 times. Verse 15. Then shall he kill the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil, and do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it upon the mercy seat and before the mercy seat. Verse 16. And he shall make an atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgressions in all their sins. And so shall he do for the tabernacle of the congregation that remaineth among them in the midst of their uncleanness. Verse 17. And there shall be no man in the tabernacle of the congregation when he goeth in to make an atonement in the holy place, until he come out and have made an atonement for himself, and for his household, and for all the congregation of Israel. Verse 18. And he shall go out unto the altar that is before the Lord, and make an atonement for it, and shall take of the blood of the bullock, and of the blood of the goat, and put it upon the horns of the altar round about. Verse 19. And he shall sprinkle of the blood upon it with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and hallow it from the uncleanness of the children of Israel. The point of verses 11 through 19 is that everyone, merely by normal activities, becomes disqualified to enter into God's presence. Therefore, entering into the most holy place behind the curtain happens only once a year, only by Aaron and his successors as high priests, and only after extensive cleansing rituals. Approaching God is never done capriciously. The English word scapegoat is a familiar term. It refers to someone taking the blame for the failures of others. These verses describe the origin of this term. It refers to a goat chosen at random to be chased out of the camp, figuratively taking the sins of the people with it. Thank you so much for watching. If this video is of any benefit or any value to you, please just give me a thumbs up. And most of all, join me soon for the next backstory.